Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm not muted. My name is Kaja May. Welcome to Game Over Vancouver. The Vancouver Canucks just lost 6-1 to the Detroit Red Wings. Yeah, that was certainly a game that happened at Rogers Arena. I feel bad for the people who paid money, to go there, considering it's Rogers Arena. It's not cheap. Anyway, before we get into the game, I have a little message from Sports Interaction. Want to bet? Then get in on the action at Sports Interaction. The boys of summer are back on the diamond and March Madness is on deck. Bet pregame, live in play, or on one of our many prop bets. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN or, in Ontario, download the app now by using the QR code at the bottom of the screen. I pointed the wrong way. It's right there. 19 plus, please play responsibly. All right, so the Vancouver Canucks lost 6-1 to Detroit. Honestly, I don't know if it was more embarrassing doing it with losing 6-1 tonight versus 1-0 last year. Because last year we lost 1-0 to them, but the difference was it was Alex Nedeljkovic in net, who I believe is now in the AHL, considering Hellberg is backing up Husso. Anyway, I don't really pay attention to Detroit. They're kind of all the way over there. That is east. Hello, camera, focus, thank you. Yeah, it was certainly a game that happened. I don't know if it was more embarrassing, because I believe Demko was in net for that one, so I don't know. Personally, I think the 1-0 games are way worse than the blowout 6-1s. Because it's just like you couldn't get that one goal to tie it. But this one, it's just like you kind of let... Yeah, the Canucks will Canuck. And we just gotta let them keep Canucking. Canuck. Alright. Game recap. Essentially, first period starts... a little slow. Well, not exactly for Curtis Lazar. Lost an edge and knocks the Detroit net off. And then we don't get a whistle for like 6 minutes or something crazy like that. Then Larkin slips past Shen, beats Petey, for the 1-0 goal. Power play. The first power play, Canucks struggle to keep the puck at Detroit's end, and it looks like they were just trying to set up Petey. That was it. Then Hughes for cross-checking gets called. Oh, gee, look, the Canucks are bad at a penalty kill. 2-0. Again, Dylan Larkin just trying to get the bag. No, Demko from last season. It was the 1-0 game last season. I believe it was Demko and net, yeah. Yeah, just to clarify. Yeah, Hughes for cross-checking. Like, I thought the officiating was like, Detroit got like 5, if you count the delay of game, like 5 penalties, we got 1, so odd. We scored 0 goals from 4 power plays, and 0 from 1 penalty shot, and I understand. I thought it was fun they put Phil DiGiuseppe in there, because I'm a huge DiGiuseppe fan, just from like AHL and stuff, but yeah, I personally wouldn't. I guess they had to do with who was on the ice at the moment, but that was certainly an interesting choice. But yeah, Husso, arm, post. It's so weird that Husso's so good in the regular season and then just absolutely shits the bed in the playoffs. It's insane. Second period, Dry scores to make it a 1-goal game. Interesting. Considering, his line is kind of criticized at the moment. We'll get into that later, but kind of like the ice time for specific players that we have signed to $5.5 million for the next 2 years. $11 million in total. Just interesting. Yeah, they didn't give that penalty shot to JT Miller. I think it's more, I don't think he was on the ice then. I think it was the fourth line. So that's DiGiuseppe, Oman, and Lazar. I would have given it to Oman, but okay. He's not well regarded by his teammates, not according to Bruce Boudreau. Apparently he's liked. So, good for him. I don't know. It's always good to be liked. Yeah, anyway. Anyway, off topic. Yeah, there was an interesting occurrence in the second period. Two Detroit players ran into each other. One of them was still in Larkin. I don't remember the other. Or was it Bertuzzi? One of those guys. And then Canucks did it too. So that was interesting. Fabry scores. Delia couldn't find the rebound. Kind of like a theme for a few goals tonight. I understand Delia is our third stringer, and now he's like essentially our starter if Demko's not back yet, because Tocchet said he still has a few more practices, but they play again on Wednesday against the Rangers. So, and that was a closer game than this one was, but anyway, yeah, and if Martin's getting sent down, if no one claims him, I don't believe anyone will, considering he's also signed for next year, so it's not exactly like he'd be an AHL guy anyway, or just somebody claims him to screw with the Canucks. Which I could see happening, but then again, we're not the Leafs, so that won't happen. But yeah, I think everyone just claims people on waivers to spite Kyle Dubas. But anyway, Zadina for boarding on Hughes. That was an insane power play, considering how many chances we had, and we scored on none of them. How many open nets we had? You had like 5 Ryan Stromes on the ice. The amount of goals you were missing. Besser had a bunch of shots. Miller tried to keep setting up Besser, and like that one where the puck just goes off the toe of his stick and then he'll fan on something, and I'm like it's hard to defend your favorite players because you're also super critical of them, but you want things to go their way, and it's just when things don't, you're just like, Yeah, anyway, and then Petey, they're doing the thing where they continuously set Elias Pettersson up for slap shots. They have done this over and over and over and over again. Throughout this game, I've noticed, or recently, I guess that's their new strat, is just to funnel everything to Petey. And yeah, it'll work some of the time, but you're just gonna ruin his shooting percentage. Yeah, he had a lot of shots on net. Especially during that power play, but yeah. And then there's another hag for holding on Kuzmenko. Kuzi was trying to stick handle. Kuzmenko tries to overperform. This is not a bad thing about Kuzmenko. Kuzmenko tries to, like do a little, not design, but like be creative with his plays and stuff like that. But the way that Tocchet is utilizing him, I understand that, he needs to gain his trust, but then again, Tocchet is also trying to, like, everyone is trying to gain the trust of Tocchet. I understand if, like, the players that have played with him, 2 of them, have that trust kind of built in already, unless you punch one of them in the face. But, I just think it's interesting. Did Shen even play tonight? Yeah, he did. He had a few big hits from what I noticed, but wasn't really too noticeable tonight. Maybe he's taking it easy after being day-to-day, and then also potential trade bait in the near future, considering his wife's due date is literally March 3rd. I am personally on, like, unless you can get a decent return for him, don't trade him, obviously, unless you're getting, like a really good return, but then just re-sign him in the offseason. I really like Luke Shen. I think he's a great fit for here. He wants to stay here, apparently, so, yeah, I don't know. I want him to stay here. Luke Shen is my favorite defenseman. Whatever that poster says behind me is wrong. It's Luke Shen. Anyway, yeah. Oh, Shen was a -4 tonight. Oh, that's not great. Yeah, maybe just keep him. I mean, that's on brand with most of the team. So, yeah. I see that they're playing around with who's going to be on the first unit between Besser and Kuzmenko. Hopefully they don't put Garland out there. It's not a knock on Connor Garland, but I feel like you should cycle those two together. I don't know. It's really hard. I really like Kuzmenko. I really like on the power play. Besser didn't have a great night on the first unit, So I could see him getting sent down to the second, but then again, he's been really good with PD recently, so it's conflicts of interest, essentially. In the third period, like right off the bat, Lindstrom scores his second goal of his career. Like, he ends a 44 goal drought. Also, local Surrey boy, Rasmussen got 2 assists, I believe. I believe it was 2. So, yeah. Shout out Surrey. I don't have my Eagles hat on. It's somewhere in here. I don't know where I put it. I wore it the other day, though. And then, the Suter goal, which, not Ryan Suter. I had to remind myself of that. Because yeah. I don't pay attention to Detroit. They're all the way over there. They're all the way the most the most notable Michigan team to me is like the team that Luke Hughes plays for. Is that Michigan University? And then there's Michigan State University. There's a lot of universities that have similar names in the United States because they're all named after the state itself. Whereas, like, in Canada, it'll be named after, like, some dude. Or, like, it'll be named after the area, but it'll be, like, a different twist for every one. But, anyway. Aside from that, yeah, the defensemen were literally stepping onto the ice behind the play. Suter was in front of, well, and behind everyone, I guess, but in front goes 5-hole on Delia just to put the point through. And then the Berggren goal was just all the Canucks focused on Larkin, which is what the Canucks used to utilize. They would utilize, like, focusing on Pettersson, but instead everyone focused on Larkin, so kind of like dose of your own medicine, except it's poison. Haha. When you pick the wrong thing in Minecraft. Niche jokes. Anyway, yeah, it was on a delayed penalty, and we wouldn't have killed the penalty anyway, in my belief, because we are terrible at that. And then Hronek wanted to celebrate Valentine's Day early. No, he got a holding penalty, and the way it's holding penalties to me, either it's physically grabbing them so hard, or it's literally like he just grabbed Garland's hip, and I thought it was funny. And then on the power play, this was the 4th power play, by the way, so we went 0 for 4 on the power play, plus missed the penalty shot. I don't blame Phil DiGiuseppe for that. I blame the hockey gods, because Phil should have scored that. Phil deserves all the goals. But I thought it was interesting. I didn't know that was a penalty shot rule. Sorry, just 1 second. I didn't know that was a... Did anyone else know that rule? Like, last minute of play. Also, it was 0.6 seconds into the last minute of play. Like, the clock said 59.4, and I was like, are they going to argue that it wasn't? But then again, they're winning 6-1, so why would they need to? It's like, we can't buy a goal. We can't buy a goal. It's more expensive than rent in Vancouver right now, which... Oh, is that a good analogy? Well, it is expensive, but, like, gold. Anyway, yeah, I didn't know that there was a call. I did not know that was a rule whatsoever. So obviously, the refs knew something I didn't. More than just what goaltender interference and what counts as a kick is. I mean, I think I know what kicking is. I used to play soccer, or football. Anyway, yeah, Husso drags the net down. It kind of looked like when you go to, like, when you're, like, learning to skate, or you see somebody that's learning to skate, and you go to, like, a public skate or something, and they're, like, clutching the wall, but then they start to fall, kind of, and then they end up on the ground. That's kind of what it looked like, but he grabbed the net, and the net came with him down. Yeah, I thought it was certainly interesting. Yeah, so last minute of play, it's a penalty shot instead of a delay game penalty. I guess they're now tracking who brings the nets down. Thanks, Matt Murray. But yeah, I thought it was a little funny because he just, like, essentially caged himself in. He's like, I don't want to deal with you people today, so we're just gonna go inside. He turtled, kind of. He could join the Kachucks. Anyway. Anyway, the goalie should have taken it. I'd like to see a goalie in the penalty box. You know what? I think when teams get penalties, when a goalie gets a penalty, they should just put the goalie in the box instead of like taking one man off the ice. Like still have it be 5 skaters, but no goalie. 5-on-5, but one team doesn't have a goalie. So you don't even get the advantage of an extra skater. No, you just 5-on-5. Well, I guess that is your extra skater. But no, you put the goalie in the penalty box. I think that would be hilarious. And I think it would be really effective for growing the game, because of the attention it would get. Like, could you imagine a goalie gets a 10-minute misconduct and you just don't have a goalie for 10 minutes? That would be hilarious. Binnington would never leave. Yeah, essentially Binnington would have to like set up camp. He'd have to like get a PS5 or something and just sit there and play like in the penalty box the entire game because Buddy just goes back to back to back. Yeah. It was really quiet in Rogers Arena tonight. I did not like it. There was a lot of Red Wings fans, which I understand. Like apparently the Yzerman family, there's some of them here. Apparently. But like there were a lot of Red Wings fans. I was like, I didn't know there was that many of them here. The Red Wings are kind of, I don't want to say the same level because they're kind of doing better at their rebuild considering, you know, cider and everything. If the goalie scores a 2, it's 2 points. Oh, I like that. Yeah. Goalie goals should count. I think they should change how much goals and points and assists count for, because I think you should get like 3 points for a goal, 2 for an assist, for a first assist, 1 for a secondary assist. I think that would be chaos. It'd be very entertaining, because this league needs to up the chaos factor. Look at Tyler Myers, right? Anyway. Yeah, it was really quiet. I made a note here about the sea of red, which, you know, what Calgary calls their fans, because everyone wears the red jerseys, blah, 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 blah. They lost anyway, boo. They lost anyway to the Senators, blew a 3-1 lead with 3 minutes to go, and lost in overtime. What a game. What a game. Audie brought back the paper bag on Game Over Calgary, so that was very entertaining. But yeah, sea of red, you know, the infamous red seats of Rogers Arena. Wow. There was a lot of them there, and personally, I'm against leaving a game early, but like, because they probably would have missed the penalty shot. They probably would have missed the penalty shot. But also, I've never been to a game where we've been losing that badly before. Well, okay, I was at the Montreal 7-6 game, but that we came back. So, yeah. And I kind of was, like, with my dad, who was a Habs fan. So he obviously wanted to watch them win. So, whatever. Whatever. Meh. Yeah. Certainly a game tonight at Rogers Arena. Okay. Like, comment, subscribe, rate, review if you're listening to this on a podcast platform. I'm Kaja May at Real Kaja May on Twitter. You can follow at SDPN Sports on Twitter as well. And, yeah. I hope you're enjoying. Get some more messages in the chat, and let's discuss some more about the current state of Vancouver Canucks hockey. We were never coming back this game. Oh yeah, no, definitely. More like wine seats. It's not purple enough to be a wine color, in my opinion. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Like it's more red that like. I would call, sorry, I'm dragging out a sweater. I would call this a wine color. But it's not essential, like, okay, it looks brown on camera. Maroon thing. It's really comfy. What would it take to trade Quinn Hughes? Connor McDavid. Anyway, Gretzky said he's good, so, yeah. Chicken wings. I like that. After rebuild if Larks leaves. Yeah, I really like Dylan Larkin. I think Steve Yzerman is going to have to pay him a lot of money, and I don't think Steve Yzerman likes that. Damn, this sounds desperation. Yeah, I hope Dylan Larkin stays in Detroit, but because I don't see where he'd fit in a lot of rosters, and I think he's good for continuing the rebuild in Detroit. We've had to change the coach. We've had to lose Horvat. I feel like darkness is here in Vancouver. Will we ever get out of this mess? Wow. That's will we ever get out of this mess is what I hear when I wake up every morning. But sorry. Yeah. I don't know. Seasonal depression is a thing, man. Get like one of those lights. You can buy actual lights that are supposed to help with that. I don't know if it's placebo or whatever, but now I think I don't have an actual light in my bedroom, so maybe that's why. Yeah, I think we'll get out of this mess eventually. But then again, that's what I've been saying since I've been saying that to myself since 2011, when I was 8. So there's that. Seat color does make it hard to see how many empty seats there are. Well, yeah. I'll count them. I'll count them. I'm going to the Rangers game on Wednesday, so I'm excited. I want us to lose that game, not because I'm Team Tank or whatever. I'm personally Switzerland in this argument, because, like, yeah, it will be nice. Do I think we're gonna get it? No. Do I think we're gonna also be a wildcard team? No. Because while Calgary is bad, we're worse than them. Yeah. I still will watch the game, even though if we're losing, like, 10-2, I will still watch the game because, Mika Zibanejad. Anyway, I moved over here from Ireland back in May. Oh, yes! Hello. Hello. Fellow Irish. I'm like, barely Irish. I don't know why I said that. This team not have any grit or leadership. If you haven't noticed, we do not have a captain. We do not have a captain, so we do not have the leadership. We have an A. The lovable loser persona. No, that's Arizona. That is fully Arizona. Like, they're pandering to college students right now. Like, I totally... Like, I get it. I get it. You need college students to be interested in the NHL, or else this game is never gonna go anywhere, in the future. Yeah. I think we're cursed. I think if the Vancouver Canucks were a team in, like, California, there would be, we were literally anywhere in the States, aside from, like, you know, the cluster of the Northeast, I think we'd be, like, heavily revered. Like, we wouldn't be getting as much shit, honestly, because, oh, the Canucks just tweeted, I thought I said Oliver Ekman-Larsson is injured, and I almost screamed. Anyway, I wanted to get back to Talk It. We're an expensive laughingstock. Yes, they're the cheap laughingstock. Even though, I'm gonna be honest, they have better jerseys than us. Like, overall, the Kachina, the Desert Night jersey. Austin to Arizona, Elias to Toronto. No. I could not see Elias Pettersson in a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. I think I would, like, physically throw up. And Austin Matthews to Arizona, I could see it, but I don't think he's gonna. Because, like, if he does that, then Justin Bieber is just gonna completely cut him out of his life, and I don't think he'd survive that. The Kings managed to win a game where they only let in 2 goals, so good for them. Yeah. What is everyone's impressions of Talk It so far? Is Bedard coming home? I gotta ask him. I don't know. I'm not his mother, so. Yeah, also, I feel like it's unfair to have so much pressure on, because, oh, we gotta get Bedard, we gotta get Bedard, we gotta get Bedard. He's like 17. He's still a child. Like, you're putting so much pressure on this dude who can't even... Oh, I just got my license late. You can get your license at 17. But who can't, like... I don't want to use drinking as the example, but, like, you can't bet. You can't drink in most provinces. He can't do most adult things. He doesn't pay taxes, for goodness sake. And you're like, oh, he's going to save our franchise. That is so much... That's so much pressure. I'm sorry. If I was Connor Bedard, I'd be crying constantly. His name is Talk It. Yeah, that's why I said Rick Talk It. Man, that's all I got for Talkit. Yeah, I'm not really that immersed into him. It's been mid. It's been mid. His head is very smooth and well polished. That is certainly an impression. I wanted Bruce to say, yeah, me too. I think it's good that, he's on the NHL network, I believe now, so good for him. I did really like Bruce, though. Obviously, I cried when, his last game happened. You can go back and watch that. Talkit, yeah, he has gone, let me see, 3-3-1 throughout the season so far, so, that's below 500. No Tukit like the journalist. Oh my gosh, yep. Gosh, I love American local news. Sometimes I just watch, like, the news, like, bloopers, and they're all American channels. So apathetic at this point. I just hope we can finish on the bottom line. There was something that John Shorthouse said. Air of resignation in the crowd. And I have never heard that spoken in, like, ever. Like, I've read that sentence in books, but I'm pretty sure it was, like, something random, too. Like, a Akatar or something. I don't even know where that book is right now. It's at my friend's house. I don't remember. Yeah. It's Canucks fans have given up on this team, which is not good. If you want to create a good culture, you don't do that. You do not do that. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of numbing. It's a numbing effect to have your team be bad. You just kind of forget the bad things cuz they're destined to happen anyway. It's like me hosting Game Over. Of course they're gonna lose. They've won, like, what, 3 times? Yeah, Talkit so far, 5-2 win against the Blackhawks, kind of easy. We played our sell the team card too early. Yeah. Yeah, they should put it up for auction. Definitely. There was resignation. Nobody even bothered throwing anything on the ice. That was something also that was mentioned. Like, the crowd at the beginning of the year, especially, like, in the first few months, if this game had happened up until even, I don't want to say beginning of January, but, like, end of December, like, you would have had shit on the ice. Definitely. You're losing to a non-playoff team. Like, I get it, they're 5 points out of a wild card spot right now, but they're not going to make it. They're on the East. It's like once the All-Star break happens, like, playoff teams are set. And then, like, the West, it's always, like, right to the end of the line. Yeah. Chicago 5-2 win, easy. Seattle 6-1 loss. Columbus 5-2 win, easy. Because remember, those two are two teams we're competing with. Not only in the National Hockey League, but also for a 17-year-old, a child. We lose in OT to the Devils, which was certainly an interesting game. We lose in regulation to the Rangers. We win against the Islanders, and I feel like that was more of a moral victory, because a lot of the players wanted to beat their former captain, and I'm like, oh that's comforting. And then 5-2 loss to Detroit. So, yeah. The future of the Vancouver Canucks is certainly going to be a case study in about 20 years, or just this era of the Canucks, because Talkit is here for the next 3 years. We don't have, I had Cat Friendly up here earlier. Let me just, damn it, I closed it. Give me a second. No, that's not what I want. I want Cat Friendly. Where's Cat Friendly? Man, okay. Never mind then. We don't have a lot of, like, I guess our core. We're gonna have to re-sign PD by the end of that. Quinn will still be halfway through his deal. We'll be most of the way through Demko's deal, I think, by then. We'll still have JT Miller and Oliver Ekman-Larsson, though. Kuzmenko, who knows? That was robbery, losing to the Devils. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of interesting penalty calls for I don't want to say as of late, because there's always interesting ones, Like, people were talking about a call during, like, that one football game yesterday. I don't know. Didn't watch it. Don't care. I just know that the team with the racist game won. So, there's that. One thing I will say, racist name won. One thing I will say about Talkett, though, is there seems to be another miscommunication between the people who declared to him, their guys, when, they brought him in. What's the time in Vancouver? 10:13. My watch is different than my computer. That's weird. Yeah, Kuzmenko's ice time has been a point of contention because it's a Chicago game. He had 2 goals, 15:03 ice time. Seattle game, -3. 8:13 in the EU. Wow. 17:47. Then Columbus 13:06. New Jersey 18:04. But then again overtime. And then New York 12 minutes. Islanders 12:17. Tonight 10:35. So it feels like they're underutilizing him a bit, considering like the management was like, OMG, we're gonna sign this guy for another 2 years to $5.5 million. Like, this could be another face of our franchise, considering we just lost one of the big faces, in Bo Horvat. Well, they signed Kuzmenko and then they traded Horvat, but like, you could see the domino effect kind of going there. I don't understand. Oh, it's just the Wings and everyone beats the Wings. No, I think the Wings a couple years ago weren't great. The Wings for a few years were not that good. But I think they're turning it around, and they're definitely further through a rebuild than we are. Same with the Kings. Yeah, I'd say Detroit's better than the Kings, but the Kings are somehow in a playoff spot and Detroit isn't. So, yeah. Another player that's played since Taka came in, Podkolzin. I think he's made an impact. I like the line he's on with Garland and Miller. I do like that line. I do think there's an issue with the lineup, though, just how it's situated. Was it me, or does Myers not hit at all? He doesn't, because if he does, I think he's just gonna destroy a human. Like, he's gonna hit somebody, and they're just going to flutter into dust like Infinity War. Fans weren't as ruthless. I think us fans are just at the point of acceptance. We know this team is nothing special. We're just looking towards the draft. When is the draft lottery? I can't find a good answer for it. I know the draft's at, like, the end of June, but... Do I have a concert during the draft? Anyway, I'll figure that out later. I do think, Rick Tocchet has made some interesting choices with his lineup, considering Travis Dermott is still not playing. I understand it could be, he had a concussion, it took him a while to come back from it. Where is he? Where is he? I understand Demko might be coming back soon, considering Spencer Martin's on waivers. You cannot compare Myers to Thanos. They're probably the same height, bro. Yeah. I do like the Beauvillier, Pettersson, Besser line, but I also like Kuzmenko and Pettersson together. I'm really torn. And I don't want to see one of those guys go. It's a conflict of interest. Stillman is our tank commander is working. The Stillman-Myers pairing should be called, like, tank insurance or something like that. Something stupid. I was just assurance that you're going to get a goal against. Because while they are defensemen, they do not do the thing that their job is supposed to do. Ekman-Larsson Shen pairing, I do see Tocchet like trying to switch it up, because it used to be Hughes, Shen, Ekman-Larsson, Myers, and Bear, and whoever else. But now it's like Hughes, Bear, and I understand putting like arguably your 2 best defensemen. Obviously, your best defenseman, Quinn Hughes, and second, and Ethan Bear. In my opinion, you could say OEL could definitely fight for that spot. I know a lot of people don't like OEL. Or you could say Luke Shen. I don't know. Stillman is definitely out of that conversation. Where is Kyle Burrows, and where is Travis Dermott is where I'd like to answer, because why is Stillman getting so much time? Like, I know his dad's like an assistant coach in Arizona, and that's where Talkin was before, so did he just send him a text just like, hey buddy, can you play my son please? And he did that, because the NHL's full of nepotism babies, and it's really funny. Just like, you know, people made jokes about Matt Benning, like Jim Benning's nephew. He was drafted by the Bruins while Jim Benning was working for the Bruins. And I understand it's a cool story, blah, 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 whatever. It's like, people were talking about the whole Nepo Baby article that came out for, like, celebrities and stuff. We should do that for hockey, and it's just, like, I searched it up. There's a Wikipedia list that is multi-tiered, depending on what level of relation. It's insane. It's insanity. I like Adam Fantilli. Michigan. Did y'all see that TikTok of the Michigan men's hockey team does like really weird, I don't know if it's a fundraiser or something, but he was doing the worm on stage. I thought that was really funny. If anyone saw that TikTok. Michkov or Fantilli. I don't know. I haven't really watched prospect stuff, because I don't know, the draft is the draft. You can't really tell if they're NHL material until they make the NHL. You can select somebody that looks really good, and then they're like in the first round and they're not as good later on. You can select somebody in like the third round that doesn't look very good as initially and then turns out to be like a freaking superstar. There's another Sillinger? What? I know, like, Cole Sillinger's has, like, family ties. I didn't know he has a brother. That's cool. But, yeah, I haven't watched a lot of, unless they're drafted, I don't really pay attention to prospects. Dakota Joshua's, I did like the little feature, for those of you who don't know, is Black History night at the Vancouver Canucks game, and they had really cool jerseys, stuff like that, and they did a little sit down with Dakota Joshua talking about his experience being Black in the hockey world, and also talks a bit about his family and how he grew up playing hockey because of his mom. They showed the picture after he scored his first goal in the league. He wrote "Hi Mom" on like the little tape that they put on the pucks, and there's a picture of him smiling with it. It's like one of my favorite pictures. It was when he was on the Blues. Yeah, I really like Dakota Joshua. Yeah, I thought it was interesting, and he also brought up the fact that his brother Jagger, who plays in the NCAA, was facing some racist remarks thrown towards him during a game, and I remember that from earlier this year, and yeah, just talking about how that going forward, it's been part of the game, and there were people on social media that you know, we're like, oh, it's too woke. They don't know what woke means at this point. It's just like, let people exist in something. For fuck's sake, let people like the things they want to like. Let people do the things they want to do, and don't be a freaking asshole about it. Sorry. Yeah, I thought it was an interesting, nice little feature on Dakota Joshua. Yeah. Anyway, just reminder, like, comment, subscribe, rate, review on podcast platforms. I am at Real Kaime on Twitter. You can find STPN at STPN Sports on Twitter. Does Vancouver have any young guns like Nick Robertson? Constantly injured? Jack Rathbone. Sorry, that's not funny. But in all fairness, they both get injured quite a lot. But Jack Rathbone is obviously a defenseman. I don't know who's a Nick Robertson. You wrote Nico in the chat, but it's Nick, so I was like, oh yeah, Nico. No, it's not Nico. Nick Robertson. I don't know. I don't know if we have a comparable for him. Because then again, Toronto has somehow better prospects than us. Jack Studnicka is a Nick Robertson. Kuzmenko is a comparable for Nick Robertson. I don't know. When was he drafted again? Nick Robertson. It's Nicholas. Hockey DB has an H in here. Round 2, 53rd overall, 2019 NHL entry draft. I could say he's a Podkolzin comparable, honestly. I know that he's had less NHL experience and more AHL experience than Podkolzin, but then again, it's very different out in Toronto than it is here. Maybe that's just because they have the same draft gear. Yeah, I don't know who's a comparable for us. I want to say Pods, because... Or Hoglander. Hoglander I could see, because Hoglander was also a second rounder. He was 13 points. He was 13 spots above him. In the... Kochetkov was a 2019 pick? Damn, he's young! Oh my gosh! Shane Pinto and Peter Kochetkov were the same draft year? The 2019 draft continues to surprise me. I don't know. Who has the most points in the... Oh, yeah, it's Jack Hughes. Yeah. Should have seen that one coming. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Who does everyone think he's a comparable for? Updates for the Canucks. Demko potentially back soon. Considering Spencer Martin got put on waivers. Rick Tocchet said he's a couple practices. I am the same age feeling old. Yeah, it's like, it's weird because, like, I always thought your draft year is, like, the year you graduated high school, but then I realized it's different because, like, your birthdays. So technically, I'm a 2021 pick. I don't know how to feel about that. Like, I don't like that. But, yeah. Demko back. How do y'all feel? Do you think he's gonna be back to form or not? Because Martin is on waivers. Certainly an interesting situation. Demko, hopefully he's back soon. Colin Delia. Oh! Jonathan Lekarimaki. He is injured! I shouldn't say it like that. He is injured. He's out for the season with a foot injury, I believe. So, possibly broken. Same thing that happened to Bo Horvat last year. But, yeah, unfortunately, his season ended early in the SHL. Yeah. Lineup. There's just a lot of questions with the lineup at the moment. Why is Sheldon Dries our third line center? He was doing badly before he got injured. Yeah, he had not had the best year. Like I said, you select literal children for a draft, and then you want them to save your dying franchise. It's not gonna happen. Like, in some cases it happens. Do you want Line A? I'm tired of him. In Columbus? Injuries. What a season this has turned out to be. Oh god. I can't wait till the Vancouver Canucks are over. It'll be a great day. We've had a good run, 53 years. It's about time. I'm obviously joking. NHL teams can't fold as easily as they used to. Like, look, San Jose still has a team. Florida just hosted the All-Star game. Arizona is playing in a college arena. Yes, injured or lazy. His fashion decisions kind of scare me, so I'm gonna pass on that. Because I feel like if he discovered Aritzia, it would not be good. Not necessarily Aritzia, like, I'm pretty sure there's probably an Aritzia. There's probably been Aritzia around, right? We got the backup Rangers. Yeah, Rangers. I don't want to say that my other backups, because it's the Flames and the Leafs and the Capitals. So it's just every day I get disappointed one way or another. Yeah, I feel like if Patrick Laine discovered some of the stuff we have out west, like clothing wise, it would not be good. Oh, Halak, yeah. Be interesting. He's on a 7-game win streak, by the way, when he's in net for the Rangers right now. Did you know that? Did you guys want to know that? He was our backup last year, and it was bad. Like, Demko kept having to fill in for him, and then he got injured against the Ottawa Senators in a shootout game we lost in the 5th round to Adam Gaudette, and yeah. Anyway, I think it's a good place to end the show. I have been Kaja May. The Canucks, once again, lost 6-1 to Detroit. Yeah, he's on a 7-game win streak with the New York Rangers right now. Not consecutive, obviously, because they have Igor freaking Shesterkin. But, yeah, he's been decent for the Rangers as of late. So, there's that. Go Yarrow. I have been Kaja May. You can follow me at Real Kaja May on Twitter. You can follow SDPN Sports at SDPN Sports on Twitter. Like, comment, hit subscribe down below. Rate and review if you're listening to this on whatever podcast platform you may like. And yeah, hopefully the Canucks will, depending on your position of how you want the season to go, hopefully the Canucks will suck or not suck on Wednesday against the Rangers. I believe Sam is covering that game, so she'll be here post-game. Yeah. Yeah, happy early Valentine's Day, I guess. Happy early Capitalism Day. Sheldon Dries scored the only goal tonight, and I kind of want to cry over it. Alright, good night, everybody. Peace.
Game over! Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.